This tutorial is mainly for drawing simple mouths on your character drawings where the face isn't really the focus. So I won't be going into the anatomy that much. I'll still talk about the teeth and the tongue a little though. Let's look at a photo of a mouth and a drawing of mine to see what's being simplified. Well, there isn't much going on it seems. The idea behind this is that I'm only marking the areas with the most depth, which are the endings on the opposite sides and the middle. You can add more details to this. The point is to have the same amount of detail as the rest of the facial features. So again, we could portray the form of the lips a bit more, and even more where we kinda drew the most thing. Again, it's up to you. It just needs to be consistent with how you drew the rest of the features. As the head rotates, perspective will come into play, and this ending will be closer to the middle than this ending. On a side view, we're gonna see the silhouette of the lips. When it comes to expressions with a closed mouth, if you have a simple anime-like style, as long as you have the proportions right, as in like the mouth is placed properly on the face, it's probably gonna look fine. Experiment and observe other artists' drawings. Well, about placing the mouth properly. I wouldn't really recommend using any guidelines or measurements. Just practice a lot and try to freehand it. Trust me, it's a way better use of your time than trying to use all these different measurements and guidelines. For some subtle open mouth poses, you still don't really need to know much about the anatomy. Just focus on the shapes instead. Again, look at other artists' drawings. For less subtle expressions, you need to know about the teeth and the tongue. The teeth. In their most simplified form, they are these two half circles, or like horseshoes maybe, I don't know. I usually only portray the canines and keep the rest flat. You can add more details if you want to though. From the front, we wouldn't see much of their curve, but there's still some perspective involved, where the teeth on the opposite sides is a lot less visible compared to the ones on the middle. So, once you know about this alone, a lot of other expressions unlock. All these expressions are basically the mouth shape framing the teeth. The mouth shape could pass the teeth as well, where the inside of the mouth could be visible, in which case you can color them with just black or a tone of red. Now, what about fully open mouth expressions? If you look at an open mouth from the side, notice how the jaw isn't just going down, but sort of rotating down on a hinge. I don't actually portray this that much on my drawings, but I just keep it in mind to determine the shape of the teeth. As in, when we're looking at this face for example, we're seeing the upper teeth roughly straight on, but the lower teeth, we're looking at it from above, so we're gonna see the curve of it. As I've said, I didn't really portray the length of the jaw changing. We also have the tongue, obviously. You could just not draw it. Like, you could just draw mouths where it's only the teeth and the rest is just black. If you wanna do, it's just this organic shape that starts from the back of the mouth and rests sort of inside the lower teeth. Honestly, I'm not that knowledgeable on it either. I would recommend working with reference and building yourself a visual library for how it looks on certain simple angles. That's gonna be it for this video. I hope this was helpful. You can check my other stories about stuff that I'm a bit more knowledgeable on if you want to. Thank you for watching till the end. Have a nice day.